And I'm Ariane Fulcher. Tonight, a local tax collector announces that she will run for county treasurer.
Plus, a walk is to be held for those in favor of gun ownership. It's our top story tonight on CUTV News. An open carry walk with the message of no gun-free zones with responsible gun owners will be held in Clarion County on March 14th. For those who would like to participate, meet fellow gun rights activists and enthusiasts at the parking lot behind Toby Hill Bar and Grill at 1 p.m. on March 14th. The walk will be comprised of a pre-planned 5-block route through town. After the walk ends, there will be speakers and a light launch held at the Ross McGinnis Post 2145 VFW on Liberty Street.
Clarion Borough Tax Collector Rose Logue is going to aim for Democratic nomination for Clarion County Treasurer in May primary election. Logue is currently in her 3rd term as tax collector and has much experience throughout the years in local borough, county, and school district politics. On top of that, she has over 30 years of experience with financial budgeting and forecasting in her career. She currently holds the position of Director of Budgets and Administrative Services here at Academic Affairs in Clarion University.
Clarion County Commissioners Wayne Brosius and Butch Campbell approved 2 agreements with EADS Architects Incorporated to investigate the possibility of building a new Office of Emergency Services behind the old jail. The agreements would charge EADS with finding an abandoned well location in the property and take steps for a possible mitigation of the well and develop a site plan, boundary, and building needs for this plan. The investigation of the issue does not mean the commissioners have approved the project, but if the surveys are positive, they could look at possible building costs as the next step. The site is a county-owned property and will not eliminate any real estate from the tax rolls. The first study will focus on the abandoned well, and if there are no major problems, the site survey would be conducted. The project is tentative to change.
Cranberry used a balanced offensive attack and a defensive approach to throw out Brockway from the District 9 Class AA playoffs with the win 48-32 in the semifinals Tuesday night in Clarion University's Tippin Gym. Offensively, Cranberry had 7 different players score, including 3 players that reached to the double digits. Defensively, Cranberry limited Brockway to 34.2% in shooting while forcing 11 turnovers from the Rovers. Cranberry held the Rovers at 0 for nearly 5 minutes in the second quarter and took a 23-16 lead into halftime. Cranberry was the last KSAC team to win a District 9 title, winning the 2008 Class AA crown, and will play Red Bank Valley in all KSAC match Saturday in Tippin Gym.
Clarion County taxes will be a couple of weeks late this year as county officials transition their software programs from Infocom to DevNet. Clarion County is working with all of municipalities to make sure they are correct, said Commissioner Greg Fowler Tuesday morning. It is not a problem with the tax collectors, but it is more of a county issue of getting the program up and running. The tax bills are being printed out as we speak now and will be out within a couple of weeks in March.
Clarion County Veterans Affairs Director Judy Zerby has been recognized by the Reimersburg VFW Post 7132 for reported exemplary service and support for county veterans to help run the annual Veterans Affairs Picnic. Like last year, the picnic will be held at the Clarion County Park. It is an important event and all veterans are encouraged to attend.
And now Jenny Wisniewski joins us with her weather report and preview.
Thank you, Eric. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot of snow, unfortunately, and it's going to be one of the coldest days this week, but the temperatures will rise for this weekend, so that's a good thing. All that and more after this commercial break.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to CUTV News. I'm Jenny Wisniewski with your weather forecast. Starting with your almanac, we have a normal high today of 38 and a low of 17. The actual high was 25 and a low of 7. The record high was 68 in 1976, and a low of -10 in 1964. The sun rose this morning about 7 a.m. and has set at 6:04 p.m. Right now it is currently 14 degrees. It's partly cloudy with a 0% chance of precipitation. Winds north at 5 miles per hour. Current conditions here in our lovely state of Pennsylvania. We have Clarion at 14, Erie at 8, Pittsburgh at 23, and also Johnstown as well. State College at 21 and Harrisburg at 27. Overnight, it's going to be cloudy at 10 degrees with winds north-northeast, 5 miles per hour with a 5% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow, we're going to have some snow, a 60% chance at a high of 24 degrees, winds north-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Tomorrow's highs across our nation, we have Seattle at 52, Phoenix at 78, New Orleans at 55, St. Louis, at 27, Omaha at 14, and over here, Boston at 23. For our 8-day outlook, tomorrow is going to be a high of 24 and a low of 1 degrees with some snow. Friday is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 16, a low of -6. It's going to be the coldest day. Saturday is going to look a little better as well, but Sunday we're going to have a lot of snow, but the temperatures will rise to a high of 35, and Monday will be a high of 31 with just clouds. Tuesday we're going to have snow again, and then Wednesday we're going to have rain this time at a high of 35 and a low of 21, and then Thursday at a high of 27. So it's looking a little bit better as far as the temperatures go. So that's a positive thought as we move into next week, going into our spring break here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the part I just like the most, is just the chilling temperatures. And if it's not going to be in the negatives or feel like it's in the negatives next week, I would consider that a positive.
Yes, of course. It makes me feel a little bit happier, especially we have a little more sun lately.
Yeah, so hopefully spring will come.
Yes, it will.
Coming up, a woman is charged with driving drunk, sorry about that, while her son was in the car.
Plus, 2 teenagers are standing trial for a homicide in a group home.
As we go to break, here's a look at today's stocks.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
A woman has been charged after she drove drunk with her young son on her way to have sex with 3 people. She was arrested when a fight broke out. Washington police arrested 34-year-old Heather Young around 1 a.m. Tuesday when they received a report of a fight outside an apartment. A resident there told the police that Young went to the apartment to have sex with 3 other people. Officials say an argument occurred when another woman got angry at Young for undressing in front of her son. The young boy is in his father's custody now. Young is charged with assault, drunken driving, and indecent exposure.
2 teens are responsible for killing another teen at a group home for troubled boys last month. A district judge is set to decide whether there is enough evidence to send the charges to adult court for a trial. 16-year-old Malik Crosby and 15-year-old Yusuf Shepard were scheduled to have a preliminary hearing this afternoon on criminal homicide, assault, and conspiracy charges. According to police, the boys attacked 16-year-old Nicholas Grant on January 10th at the Circle C Youth and Family Services group. The boys beat Grant with Shepard. And when Shepard put him in a chokehold and Crosby beat him with a vacuum cleaner that was thrown at Shepard by Grant himself, attorneys say that the boys were defending themselves and did not start the fight.
A 2-month-old female child was found unresponsive on the south side slopes this morning. The child was found at a home in the 2500 block of Letico Street. She was given CPR on the scene and taken to UPMC Mercy Hospital, where she had passed away. The police are calling the death suspicious and no charges have been filed at this time. Pittsburgh Police Commander Rachel Brackney said how the situation is very unlikely and the investigation is ongoing.
A man on death row for killing his girlfriend in 2004 has been sentenced to 5 to 10 years in prison for punching his lawyer by swinging his cuffed hands in court. Andre Stanton pleaded guilty on Tuesday over a video conference. He was charged with aggravated assault and simple assault for the incident in May 2013 towards lawyer. Tim Burns, the 47-year-old from Baltimore, apologized and wants to resolve his assault charges so he can focus on his murder conviction. Stanton was angry with Burns, who was suffering a severe concussion, because he wanted to represent himself in an appeal. Stanton is challenging his conviction on the charges for fatally stabbing Beverly Yawn of Altoona in February 2004.
A large fire occurred on a home this morning in Sewickley Township, Westmoreland County. Firefighters were called to the scene after the fire started around 3:45 a.m. The home was at Beacon Light Road between Sever Lane and Greensburg Park. Though initial reports said that someone was trapped inside the building, when crews got there, everyone was out safely. The home is completely burned down, and the family's 2 pets are still missing. Crews were still spraying the house with water at 6 a.m. this morning. The county fire marshal is investigating the cause of the blaze.
Representative Eli Ivankovich from Murraysville has introduced a new law to be passed after the death of a teenager from Burroughs High School. Noah's law will require medical examiners and coroners to delay the release of information about the death of anyone until the family is notified. The exception is if the public's health could be threatened if the information is not released. The law is named after Noah Cornett, who died during a preseason workout last August. His death was made public before some of his family members knew what happened. His parents and Representative Ivankovich are hopeful of the support in the Senate. The House bill was approved by the Senate House Health Committee, but will be altered slightly before being sent to the full House.
And Anthony Fusa joins us now with his sports report.
Yeah, guys, coming up, we have a look at the NBA, 4 teams that are in the playoffs. We get to check them out, and also the NCAA basketball tournament is coming up. We'll check out 2 teams from the Big Ten. All that and more coming up right after this break.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, you know, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain loss.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Anthony Fusa, providing you with another one of your Wednesday night sports reports. In the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks were facing the high tide as they hosted the Raptors.
If it wasn't for what Monte did in that second quarter.
Feeling the breeze here in Big D, we got the Mavericks wearing their home whites, and losing the ball is Toronto. And a dish here, up and at him, it's Al Farouk Aminu, a smash basket of his own. Gotta love those here, as the slam dunk contest was just great, and Amari Stoudemire saying, I can do it, but I'm going to lay it in here. Dipping it in like hot cocoa with the toast. Got to get that in there during this time of year. Devin Harris, behind a wraparound pass right there. Amari Stoudemire getting some home cooking, feeling the breeze. Dallas Mavericks coming back. They were down as many as 9 in this ball game. Mavericks up by 7 here, and a lay-in again by Monta Ellis. He was on fire during this game as well, had about 20 points. So the Dallas Mavericks, they go on to win by a count of 99-92. They're on a 3-game win streak. Dirk Nowitzki had 18 points. DeMar DeRozan, he had 18 for the losing Toronto Raptors. And how about this? Washington hosting the Golden State Warriors. A jumper there by Paul Pierce. He had 25, left with an injury. And inside, Nene Hilario with a lay-in. The big man getting some spiciness inside. A 3 by Andre Iguodala. Iggy Azalea ain't got nothing on this Iggy right here. Andre Iguodala from the 3. We also have Harrison Barnes getting involved. We also had Steph Curry addition side. So it was a beautiful day, I must say so myself. Golden State just continued to lay it in, and they go on to win 114-107. Big Ten matchup here. Maryland, we catch them up here, up by 8 over Wisconsin. The Badgers, can they lose this game? The Big Ten tournament amidst us here as March Madness is underway. Down by 5 now is Wisconsin. Des Wells, he was all over the place, getting in the double figures and scoring. Also, Frank Kaminsky, lay it in there, big fella. I see you. You're not going anywhere, my friend. Wisconsin down by 3, but driving in is Mr. Garrett Trimble. Trimble, I should say. Trimping us up, trapping us down. You can't stop him. Too good. And up by 6, winning by 6 is Maryland. The Terps defeat the Badgers in another Big Ten rivalry. That's all for sports. Let's go back to the news desk here with Ari and Eric.
I have to say, you definitely have some humorous commentary, Anthony.
All right, thank you very much. But hey, you gotta love it. It's that time of year for men's college basketball, and yeah, NBA playoff season. It's not too far off.
Yeah, very exciting.
You got it.
It took them less than 3 hours to render their verdict, and this morning, we are hearing from the jurors who convicted Eddie Ray Routh of murdering American sniper, the legend Chris Kyle, and his friend Chad Littlefield. Ryan Nobles has more on how they came to their decision.
Mr. Routh, if you'll please stand again.
It didn't take very long.
We spent time to go back over the facts that led us in that direction, and ultimately, unanimous decision.
A panel of 10 women and 2 men made swift work in their deliberations, convicting Eddie Ray Routh in the murders of Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield. They did not believe that mental illness was to blame for his actions.
He would get intoxicated, get in trouble, and then the police would show up and he would say, I'm a veteran, I have PTSD, I'm insane. You know, and every time something bad happened, he pulled that card.
Routh's attorneys have vowed to appeal. The high-profile case was at the center of this year's blockbuster film, American Sniper, which jurors were allowed to watch. Juror Barrett Hutchinson saw the movie, but says it played no role in his decision.
I basically put the fact that Chris was a Marine, out of my mind and just looked at him as a person, looked at Chad as a person.
Chris Kyle's widow, Taya, left the courtroom before the verdict was read and is yet to speak publicly about Routh's conviction. Chad Littlefield's family hopes their son will be remembered for the way he lived, not the tragic way he died.
Now is the time that we want to honor and talk about our precious son, Chad.
I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
Surveillance video captured a truck flying off the elevated section of Interstate 93 in Boston and crashing down onto a lower level. Amazingly, the driver survived. Massachusetts State Police charged him with drunken driving and operation of motor vehicle. He opened up about the incident to reporter Jack Harper and downplayed the role of alcohol.
I remember hitting the snowbank, and the truck got a little shaky, so I thought I just tipped over or something, but when I watched the video an hour and a half ago, I realized what happened.
Vanak Sal's pickup goes over the wall, takes down a sign, a light, and plunges to the ground below.
I woke up to the sound of, I think it was the paramedics or the EMTs ripping the car door open.
State police say Sal was driving drunk.
I have nothing to hide, you know what I mean? I had a few drinks that night, and, so in combination with everything else, it definitely didn't help.
He says he had been shoveling snow with a friend, was totally exhausted. Trying to drive home was the wrong decision.
I feel idiotic a little bit. I mean, excuse my language, but that's how I feel. I try not to watch the video, but I'm sitting there now kind of checking it out, and it's kind of crazy.
Sal feels lucky he survived and didn't hit anyone.
So you're glad you didn't hurt anyone else?
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean,
good.
It'd be horrible.
Checkmate for Purina. The pet food giant is being sued over their dog food. The plaintiffs say the ingredients in one brand of Purina dog food are making dogs very sick. Keisha Henry reports.
Pet food industry has become a over $150 billion a year industry in the United States alone.
And one of the top brands, Purina, being called out in this lawsuit. The St. Louis-based company is accused of making dogs ill, affecting their organs, even causing their death because of some of the ingredients in Beneful, like mycotoxins.
It's highly, highly toxic, and we find it growing in grains and corn.
Dr. Jim Sparks at Eagle Animal Hospital says these toxins are everywhere, especially in food that is spoiled. The lawsuit also claims Beneful contains propylene glycol, which the lawsuit refers to as antifreeze. But Dr. Sparks says that's not correct. Propylene glycol is actually found in most dog foods, and it's not harmful.
They're confusing ethylene glycol, which is antifreeze.
Dr. Sparks says he's seen these toxicity cases many times before, but he says rarely can a proven link be found between the illness and the food. He even says he would not steer away from all Purina brands.
But the truth is, right now, I would say that 95% of the foods out there are perfectly well balanced for your average pet. You know, I've been sick at a restaurant in the past, but I'm not going to avoid food for the rest of my life. Incidents happen, problems come up. There is no 100% safe food source.
And now Jenny Wisniewski joins us with our final look at weather.
Thanks again, Eric. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to have a 60% chance of snow. Friday's going to clear up, but it's going to be the coldest day at a high of 16, a low of -6. Saturday's going to be sunny and a little clouds. Sunday we're going to have a lot of snow at a high of 35, so that's not too bad with the temperatures. Monday is going to look a little bit better, high of 31. Tuesday, we're going to have snow at night, I believe, 35 degrees as the high. Wednesday, we're going to have a lot of rain, unfortunately, so get your umbrellas out. And then Thursday, we're going to end with some more snow in the morning.
Well, I'd rather have, the wintry mixes instead of, the absolute freezing temperatures, so.
It's going to be chilly.
Hopefully, since it's going to snow and then rain the day after, I feel like since the temperatures are higher, it'll help melt the snow, so maybe that'll be a positive instead of like ice again.
Yeah, that'd be better instead of it freezing.
Yes,
sure.
Definitely.
Well, that's the news for tonight. Lauren Healy and Jenny Wisniewski will be here Monday night for the latest in news, weather, and sports.
Don't forget to tune into CUTV News every Monday through Wednesday at 6:30.
For Jenny Wisniewski, Anthony Fusa, and everyone here at CUTV News, I'm Eric Savinsky.
And I'm Ariane Felcher. Stay tuned for Pop Culture coming up next.